Hello and welcome to the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. I am Kayla Abraham.
And I'm Sumto Ajama, and here are the headlines. President Tinubu 1 year in office, a critical review of achievements and challenges.
Nigerians slam government's decision to reinstate old national anthem.
Anambra sets to conduct local government election after 10 years.
Police kills two persons in Ekiti State.
Tinubu to present 2024 supplementary budget to NASS soon.
In sport, Bayern Munich named Vincent Kompany as the new manager.
Now the news in full. The former President Muhammadu Buhari has extended his best wishes to President Bola Tinubu on completing his first year in office. In a statement issued on Tuesday, Buhari called on Nigerians to strengthen national unity and goodwill. Buhari also urged citizens to support the Tinubu administration, expressing hope for its success in building a prosperous Nigeria. He emphasized the importance of collective effort in achieving the nation's dreams.
Meanwhile, opposition political parties have given a poor rating to the All Progressives Congress administration under President Bola Tinubu 1 year after he took office. They argue that the government has failed to deliver a better life for Nigerians. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) described Tinubu's first year as the most challenging since the Civil War. PDP's National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba criticized Tinubu's economic policies, citing rising insecurity, poverty, and hardship. Ologunagba pointed to the removal of fuel subsidies and the floating of the naira as detrimental policies that lacked adequate consideration for citizens' welfare. He argued that these policies have led to extreme poverty and disillusionment among Nigerians. Similarly, Action Democratic Congress National Chairman Ralph Okewonsu criticized Tinubu's policies, stating they have left the Nigerian economy in disarray. However, APC National Publicity Director Bala Ibrahim dismissed the opposition's criticism, asserting that President Tinubu has provided clear direction and foresight, with the Nigerians beginning to see the benefits.
Similarly, Labour Party lawmakers have criticized Tinubu's administration, labeling it as filled with empty promises. The minority caucus condemned the government for the worsening insecurity and economic hardship, which they argue contradicts Tinubu's renewed hope campaign. The lawmakers highlighted Tinubu's initial pledge to create a robust national security architecture to eliminate terrorism, kidnapping, and banditry. They urged the president to urgently focus on alleviating the suffering of Nigerians by ensuring food security, clean water, healthcare, and education.
Today signified a notable milestone in Nigeria's political realm as President Tinubu concluded his first year in office, assuming his position as the 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. While his administration has achieved some successes, persistent challenges endure. Industrial disputes, particularly concerning minimum wage negotiations and outstanding salary payment, remain unresolved. Furthermore, escalating electricity tariffs and inflation rates present economic hurdles for citizens. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunsuaja offers a critical assessment of President Tinubu's 365 days in office, providing further insights in this report.
Today, May 29, 2024, represents a significant milestone in Nigeria's political landscape, as it marks President Tinubu's completion of his first year in office, resuming his role as the 16th President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In his inaugural address 1 year ago, President Tinubu outlined an ambitious agenda aimed at tackling pressing issues facing the nation.
Bola Tinubu, do solemnly swear that you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
He articulated the renewed hope agenda, focusing on critical areas, including national security, economy, agriculture, power, oil and gas, transportation, education, healthcare, sports, culture, youth empowerment, social programs, judicial reforms, federalism, and foreign policy. Some of the achievements of the administration include the withdrawal of the unsustainable fuel subsidy and the unification of the forex market for economic rebirth. On national security, over 4,600 hostages have been freed, more than 9,300 hostiles neutralized, and over 7,000 terrorists and bandits arrested, further leading to the annual recruitment of 30,000 new police personnel. In transforming infrastructure and transportation, his administration has contributed to the construction and improvement of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the construction of the second Niger Bridge, operationalizing the Port Harcourt-Aba rail line, and ongoing construction of the Lagos-Calabar Highway. The Student Loan Act 2024 and the establishment of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund highlight a commitment to broadening access to education. The National Job Center and the National Talent Program were also created to provide employment opportunities and support youth-owned enterprises. To enhance service delivery, the administration introduced the Mobilizer app for citizen engagement and launched the Citizens Delivery Tracker app to access public officials' performance and tackle corruption. Despite these achievements, we cannot ignore the challenges that persist. Security remains a pressing issue under President Tinubu's administration. Additionally, there have been several industrial conflicts within the country. The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria have been in negotiation with the federal government on the minimum wage. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, also plans to embark on a nationwide strike if their withheld salaries are not paid. In the power sector, there has been an increase in electricity tariffs for Band A consumers. There has also been high inflation in the country, reducing the purchasing power of consumers, increasing the cost of living, and making it difficult for people to save. As Voice of the People TV, we took to the streets and asked Nigerians what they want from President Tinubu's administration in the next 1 year. Here is what they have to say.
I want Tinubu, Mr. President, to focus on restricting the people because masses are suffering. We have very, very hardship. Hardship is too much. Everything is cost. Everything is costly. What we are facing now.
So let him consider the masses, the wealth of the masses.
To eat now is very hard. Our father, Baba Tinubu, need to do something about food matter.
We should try to make life better for the poor people.
The only thing I see is that we cannot judge him for 1 year because a small baby, before it will lift up from the, crawling to begin to walk, at least for 1 year. So let us give him the benefit of doubt for this 1 year. So let's be patient. I know this will be good.
As we reflect on the achievements and challenges of President Bola Tinubu's administration, it's clear that progress has been made, yet much work needs to be done. Moving forward, it's important for the government to continue to address pressing issues such as security, education, infrastructure, and economic stability. God bless Nigeria. Matthew Ogunswada for Voice of the People TV.
And that was a report from VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada on the current situation. Yes, and now we're moving on to the Senate, which has successfully passed the National Anthem Bill 2024, aimed at reinstating the former national anthem, Nigeria, We Hail Thee. This bill swiftly progressed through both its first and second readings last Thursday, and it currently awaits President Bola Tinubu's assent to become law. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada tells us more in this report.
The Nigerian Senate has made a historic decision by passing the National Anthem Bill 2024. This bill, which aims to bring back the familiar strains of Nigeria We Hail Thee, marks a significant shift in the country's cultural landscape. The Senate decision to pass the National Anthem Bill 2024 comes as a nod to Nigeria's rich history and cultural heritage, as the bill seeks to replace the current national anthem, Arise, O Compatriot, with the beloved anthem that once echoed across the nation in its early years of independence. Composed in 1960 by Lillian Jean Williams and Francis Bada, Nigeria We Hail Thee served as a symbol of unity and aspiration during Nigeria's nascent years, while its melodies stirred patriotism and solidarity among Nigerians, leaving an indelible mark on the nation's collective consciousness. During the Senate deliberation, there was a palpable sense of reverence for the anthem's historical relevance. Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele emphasized its ability to evoke nostalgia and fond memories, urging his colleagues to honor Nigeria's past by reinstating the old national anthem.
This is the first time, like I said, that elected representatives of the Nigerian people will be taking a position on this.
The bill now awaits assent into law by President Bola Tinubu. VOP TV took to the streets to gather public opinion on the Senate's decision. Here is what they have to say.
The national anthem is not the problem of the country. Even if they change a new one, or they go back to the old one, or they form a new one, it has nothing to do with Nigeria's problem. Nigeria's problem is more deeper than national anthem. It's just a song. National anthem is just a song. The problem on guys is bigger than a song. So they should do what is necessary, not national anthem.
My opinion on the national anthem is that they should leave it where it was, because it was composed by our own Nigeria. That national anthem is more or less a prayer for us and a guide to us. Arise, O compatriots, she gave me, than the old one that was composed by a white lady.
Our problem for country, not the national anthem. One, let's think about how Nigeria will grow, how Nigeria will be great, and not national anthem. National anthem is not our problem. For me, it's not my problem. My problem is how bag of rice will become 10,000, 5,000 naira. That's my problem. My problem is how fuel will become 3 naira, I'll be 10 naira, I'll be 20 naira. That's my problem. My problem is how we're going to get lights. My problem is how we're going to open border. That's my problem. What be national anthem?
From the streets of Lagos, these are just a few reactions of citizens towards the proposed change in the national anthem from Arise, O Compatriots to Nigeria We Hail Thee. The bill finally awaits assent into law by the President of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu. Matthew Ogunswada, for Voice of the People TV.
And that was a report by VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada. However, the bill has been passed by the President Bola Tinubu today. Moving on, the decision by the government to revert to the old national anthem in Nigeria has sparked a range of reaction among Nigerians. Today, President Bola Tinubu signed the National Anthem Bill 2024, seeking to reinstate the old anthem Nigeria We Hail Thee into law, shifting the Arise, O Compatriot. The Nigeria We Hail Thee anthem was used from 1960 when Nigeria gained independence until it was replaced by Arise, O Compatriot in 1978. VOP TV News reports that reacting to the old news of the reinstatement of the old national anthem on X, a former Minister of Education, Obiageli Ezekwesili, said she would not revert to the old national anthem. According to her, no one can suppress her right to dissent from what she described as an obnoxious law repugnant to all who are of good conscience in Nigeria. Other Nigerians have also taken to social media to express their displeasure with the new law. On Friday, VOP TV News reported that many Nigerians on social media questioned the relevance of the move by the House of Representatives to revert to the old national anthem, wondering if it would help salvage the nation's economy, being Nigeria's biggest challenge at the moment.
Former Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele is now facing trial over allegations of unauthorized Naira redesign. Yesterday, former CBN Director of Operations Ahmed Umar testified that the late 2022 Naira redesign was not approved by the Committee of Governors. Emefiele, charged by the EFCC on May 15th, is accused of proceeding with the Naira redesign without the necessary approvals from the CBN board and the then President Muhammadu Buhari. The EFCC claims Emefiele spent 18.96 billion naira on printing and swapping new naira notes, violating Section 19 of the CBN Act. The trial opened with Umar as the first witness, who confirmed that the Naira redesign proposal was presented but not approved by the Committee of Governors. Emefiele has denied all allegations, pleading not guilty to charges including the illegal expenditure on Naira printing and unauthorized withdrawals from the Consolidated Revenue Fund.
The president of the Trade Union Congress TUC, Festus Osifo, has emphasized the urgent need for the government to address the issue of a new minimum wage with seriousness and risk nationwide. Labor unions and the federal government have been in negotiations for months, with the union setting a deadline of May 31st. Initially, Labour demanded a 615,000 minimum wage, 615,000 naira minimum wage, but have since lowered their demand to 494,000 naira. In contrast, the government and the organized private sector proposed 48,000 naira and 54,000 naira, which Labour also rejected. During a meeting of the Minimum Wage Committee on Tuesday, Labour rejected the federal government's latest proposal of 60,000 naira, citing the country's economic realities. Osifo pointed to the Nigeria's inflation rate of 33.69% as of April 2024, according to the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS), as a key reason for rejecting the proposal.
Still, the Ministry of State for Labour and Employment in Kiruka Onyonchacha has appealed to organized labour to be considerate and patriotic in their demands in the ongoing negotiation for the new national minimum wage. Onyonchacha made this appeal in a statement signed by the ministry's Director of Press and Public Relations, Olajide Oshundun, today in Abuja. The minister said that the federal government had consistently taken steps to secure a fair and realistic wage for Nigerian workers. She therefore urged Labour to recognize that the nation's economy is still on the path of recovery from the effects of the pandemic and other economic distress. The minister therefore said the government recognized that the economic challenges faced by Nigerians were complex and multifaceted and called for the collective efforts of all stakeholders to overcome them. She added that the meeting with organized labour was a significant step in the ongoing efforts to secure a fair and realistic wage for Nigerian workers. The federal government on Tuesday added a sum of 3,000 naira to the initially proposed 57,000 naira minimum wage, making it 60,000 naira. However, the organized labour insisted on 494,000 naira, removing 3,000 naira from its earlier 497,000 naira demand. VOP TV reported that Labour had earlier proposed a May 31st, 2024 deadline for the announcement of the new minimum wage. A top official of the NLC said the Labour had not changed its position that negotiation on the minimum wage should end on Friday.
As the deadline for resolving the minimum wage issue approaches, tensions are escalating. The president of the Trade Union Congress, Festus Osifo, has emphasized the need for urgent action from the government, with labor unions rejecting the latest offer and only days left until the ultimatum. The threat of a strike looms large. VOP TV's Olukoton Oyindamola brings you the latest update and reactions from the public.
Congress TUC, Festus Osifo, has stressed the urgent need for the government to address the issue of a new minimum wage. With negotiation between labor unions and the federal government ongoing for months, the union have set a firm deadline of May 31st. Despite initial demands and proposals from both sides, Labour have rejected the latest government offer of 60,000 naira. citing economic realities and high inflation. Osifo highlights the TUC's ultimatum, noting that only 3 days to resolve this critical issue. VOP TV is on the streets for the opinion of the people regarding the intending strike from the Labour and TUC.
Strike is not going to solve the issue. But if you couldn't increase fine, that's the problem. We can go. But no matter, let them move forward, support their government. Look at the Senate, look at the House, look at what they are consuming. Only them. And try to see Nigeria, we're praying. The masses, even though they are not working, price come down so that people to survive, to see what they can eat. Not only we. We were working in time, but what of the people that are not working?
The federal government should consider people. They pay house rents, school fees, take care of themselves. So at least to live a good life. So I think if they can make it 120, I think it will be a little bit, not that it will be okay.
The minimum wage of 60, they didn't do anything. So I would like to talk to Mr. President I think they should make it a little higher for the civil servants.
Olukuto Indamola for Voice of the People TV.
And that was a report from VOP TV's Oyindamola Ogoswada on the latest minimum wage. In education, the federal government of Nigeria has instructed outgoing vice-chancellors of federal universities to nominate their deputies to temporarily assume the role of acting vice-chancellors. This directive, issued by the National Universities Commission, NUC, through a letter dated May 28, 2024, follows a mandate from the Federal Ministry of Education. Signed by NUC's acting executive secretary, Chris Mayaki, the letter indicates that the recommendations for acting vice-chancellors should come from the university's senates. These acting vice-chancellors will serve until the new governing councils are inaugurated, at which point they will appoint interim vice-chancellors for at least 6 months. During this period, the process of selecting permanent vice-chancellors will begin. This directive supersedes any previous communications on the matter. You're still watching the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. More stories after the break. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. In a tragic development, 2 young men were mistakenly killed by a bullet from a policeman's gun in Ekiti State. Witnesses report that the incident occurred around 10 p.m. yesterday in the Ominsan Jana area of Ado-Ekiti. According to reports, there was an accident in the area and some irate youths attempted to mob the driver and set the vehicle ablaze. The police were contacted to calm the situation, but the youth showed no sign of backing down when the officers arrived. In the process of trying to disperse the youths, there was an accidental discharge from one of the officers' guns, which hit 2 of the youths. Though the victims were rushed to the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital, they did not survive. The bodies have been deposited in the morgue. When contacted, the spokesperson for the Ekiti State Police Command DSP Sunday Abutu said a discreet investigation has commenced. While the command is already in touch with the families of the deceased, the Ekiti State Commissioner of Police CP Akinwale Kunle Adeniro condoled with the families and assured them that a discreet investigation has commenced and justice shall prevail.
The Delta State House of Assembly workers, under the orgies of the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria today, shut down the State House of Assembly indefinitely over non-payment of approved salaries and non-funding of the clinic and other sundry issues. The striking workers shut down activities of the House and locked out the Speaker and other lawmakers, preventing them access to the Assembly or legislative business. The workers expressed disappointment that to date, payment for the consolidated legislative salary structure, CONLES, about 3 years after, was not approved or regularized causal staff, training of staff and other entitlements. The workers, after an enlarged meeting yesterday, expressed displeasure over what they called delay tactics employed to deprive them of their entitlements, saying it was a sign that the leadership of the Assembly and government lacked the political will to do the needful. This was disclosed in a communique issued to the Speaker and signed by the state chairman of PASSN, Emmanuel Edozie, and Secretary Emmanuel Osubo, copying all directors, national president of PASSN, Commissioner of Police, Delta State Director, DSS, and Chairman, NLC, Delta State. They recalled that at a time, the Congress had suspended its earlier strike action scheduled for 28 February this year, but for the intervention of the Conference of Speakers and the Nigerian Governors Forum to allow for full implementation of financial autonomy and payment.
Today, the Anambra State House of Assembly passed a bill for law to establish a state independent electoral commission and for connected purposes. The executive bill passed its second reading on Tuesday, May 28, after lawmakers made several contributions on the bill's gains and its importance to the conduct of local government elections in the state. The electoral law will be enacted on June 5, 2024, after the governor's assent. Today's plenary of the State House of Assembly, which was presided over by the Speaker Somto Chukwu Udeze, the state lawmakers resolved to the Committee of the Whole, where they took their turns going through the bill clause by clause, making necessary amendments and corrections. Udeze, while reporting progress, commended the members for taking their time to do the needful and for contributing towards building a better Anambra state. After the session, the House therefore adjourned to Tuesday, June 4, 2024, for further legislative activities. Speaking to journalists, Deputy Speaker Chukwuma Okoye said the bill no doubt will assist the working governor to conduct local government elections, which will in turn bring more development to all the 21 local government areas of the state. You do recall that it has been over 10 years that elections at the local government levels were held in Anambra State, as the last one was held in the twilight of former Governor Peter Obi's administration in 2014. There has been widespread clamoring, especially from the opposition camps, for elections to be held at the 21 local government areas of the state, which have continuously been run through caretaker transition chairmen appointed by the state governor every 3 months. A High Court sitting in Abuja had last week directed the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, to invite and interrogate the relevant officers of the Anambra State government regarding the deployment of funds received between March 22, 2022 and April 30 this year. The court banned the 21 local government areas in the state from receiving allocations from the Consolidated Revenue Fund, pending the determination of a suit that was brought before it.
Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed a case filed by Senator Jimoh Ibrahim against the All Progressives Congress APC governorship primary election held in Ondo State on April 20th, 2024. VOP-TV reports that Ibrahim had, in the lawsuit, sought to nullify the primary election that produced Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa as APC governorship candidate for the forthcoming election in the state. The court presided over by Justice Inyang Ekwo dismissed the case after the plaintiff filed a notice of withdrawal on May 27, 2024. When the matter came up on Wednesday, May 29, 2024, that's today, Olakunle Lawal appeared for the plaintiff, while Matthew Barker, SAN, appeared for APC. Bode Olanipekun, SAN, appeared with Ebolu Adegboruwa, SAN, for Governor Ayedatiwa.
In Kano, Governor Abba Yusuf has instituted a ban on all public gatherings intended for protest within the state. This decision was communicated through a statement by his Director General of Media and Publicity, Sanusi Tofa. This directive orders the Police, Department of State Services (DSS), and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) to arrest, detain, and prosecute anyone violating this ban. The governor's action is described as a precautionary measure to prevent potential disruptions and maintain public order. According to the statement, there is credible intelligence suggesting that opposition figures are planning to incite chaos by sponsoring student associations and political agitators. These efforts allegedly aim to advocate for the dethroned Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero. Yusuf has warned against any form of protest, demonstrations, or processions, and cautioned student groups to avoid being used by those intent on causing disorder. He assured citizens that the government is closely monitoring the situation to maintain peace and order in the state.
Meanwhile, the Forum of Chiefs in Nigeria has called on Sanusi Lamido Sanusi to comply with the Federal High Court order and vacate the Kano Emir's palace immediately. In a statement released today, the forum emphasized the importance of upholding the court's ruling to ensure peace and stability in Kano State. Jointly signed by President Chief Ame Adaji and Secretary General Danladi Etsu, the statement highlighted that leadership relies on the support of the people and that illegal occupation of the palace is unacceptable. The chiefs urged Sanusi, as a former custodian of culture and tradition, to respect the law and avoid actions that could lead to violence or unrest.
The Kano Emirate throne tussle has taken a dramatic turn with the emergence of two conflicting court orders involving Aminu Ado Bayero and Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. Both have been granted rights and privileges as emir by different courts. Those contradictory rulings have thrown Kano into confusion and heightened tensions. VOP TV's Olukuton Oyindamola has the rest of the story. Break and return with business, sports, and entertainment stories. Do you stay with us?
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Welcome back, and now over to business. The Naira appreciated significantly on the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market (NAFEM) window, reaching 1,173.88 Naira to a dollar, a 14.09% increase from the previous day's rate. This marks the highest one-day increase since January 2024, coinciding with an 81.59% surge in foreign exchange turnover to $328.32 million. Analysts attribute this improvement to the Central Bank of Nigeria's efforts to stabilize the currency, particularly following its monetary policy adjustments and successful auctions of Treasury and OMO bills. This increase in Naira value and FX turnover highlights a controlled foreign exchange environment critical for investor confidence and economic planning.
The federal government aims to boost revenue generation from the blue economy, targeting 2 trillion naira annually by 2027. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, announced this during a ministerial briefing, emphasizing the sector's potential contribution to the country's GDP. The strategy involves addressing revenue leakages, enhancing existing sources, and identifying new revenue streams. This initiative aligns with President Bola Tinubu's broader economic goals, aiming to transform Nigeria into a $1 trillion economy by 2026 and $4 trillion economy by 2035.
President Bola Tinubu announced his administration's commitment to the timely passage of annual budgets and plans to present the 2024 Supplementary Appropriation Bill to the National Assembly shortly. Speaking at a joint session of the National Assembly, Tinubu emphasized the importance of collaboration among lawmakers to preserve Nigeria's democracy and secure the nation's future. He urged continued unity and effort in building the country, stressing that foreign aid cannot substitute for domestic commitment to national development.
Still in business, the cost of a healthy diet in Nigeria has more than doubled within a year, rising by 110.7% to 1,035 naira per day in April 2024 from 491 naira per day in April 2023, according to a report by the National Bureau of Statistics and the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. The sharp increase puts nutritious food beyond the reach of many Nigerians. Food inflation has significantly contributed to the rise in cost, with headline inflation reaching 33.69% in April. The report highlights that vegetables, starchy staples, and legumes have seen the most significant price increases, while fruits have remained relatively stable. The highest costs were recorded in Ekiti, Ogun, and Osun State, with the lowest in Kogi and Katsina State.
And in the world of entertainment, Big Brother Nigeria reality star Alexandra Asogwa, popularly known as Alex Unusual, has shared a private detail about herself. The reality TV star took to her Snapchat page recently to claim that she is still a virgin at age 28. Her revelation elicited mixed reactions from her fans. Some netizens expressed shock at her statement, while others praised her for keeping her virginity intact. Alex has not been publicly known to be in any romantic relationship since her appearance on the Big Brother Nigeria Season 3 reality show. Recently, there were rumors that she was having an affair with popular comedian Ayo Makun, aka AY.
Famous talking drama cum cultural ambassador of the Oni of Ife, Aralola Olamuyiwa, better known as Ara the drummer, has recalled how she broke the jinx of women being prevented from playing talking drums. VOPTV News reports that Ara, Africa's first female talking drummer, said in an interview that people tried to discourage her from playing the talking drum. According to Ara, she self-taught with the musical instrument because she was told that playing the talking drum might prevent her from having children, but she broke the jinx.
Nigerian singer Tiwa Savage has revealed that she brushed her teeth 6 times in preparation for the kissing scene in her debut movie, Water and Gary. The Afrobeats diva explained that she indulged in the hygienic practice to give a good impression. She disclosed this in a recent interview. Savage, who played the lead character Aisha in the movie, shared kisses with Andrew Bunting, her co-star who plays Kay in the movie. Water and Gary premiered on May 10th on a streaming platform. The movie, produced by Tiwa Savage, was filmed in Cape Coast, Ghana, and directed by Meji Alabi.
Popular singer Joseph Akinfenwa Donus, popularly known as Joe Boy, has berated the federal government for prioritizing changing the national anthem over tackling the numerous challenges facing the country. VOPTV News reports that President Bola Tinubu today signed the National Anthem Bill 2024 into law to reinstate the old anthem Nigeria We Hail Thee. Reacting, Joe Boy wondered why a change of the national anthem was prioritized over pressing national issues.
In sports, Olympic Lion has identified Wilfred Ndidi as a transfer target for the upcoming summer. Ndidi's contract is set to expire at the end of next month, and he has been linked with multiple clubs in England. Despite interest from other clubs, the Nigerian international could potentially stay at Leicester City following the Foxes' promotion to the Premier League. According to reports, Lion is interested in bringing the defensive midfielder to England after the unsuccessful attempt last season. The former League One champions attempted to sign the player on loan last season, but Leicester City turned down their request. Ndidi is reportedly keen to remain in England and is eyeing a move to any of the top 6 clubs.
Bayern, who had clinched the Bundesliga title for the previous 11 seasons, found themselves in 3rd place, trailing behind Bayer Leverkusen and VfB Stuttgart. Moreover, they failed to secure any domestic or European trophies for the first time in over a decade, prompting the departure of coach Thomas Tuchel, announced in February. The appointment of company marks the conclusion of a lengthy search for Tuchel's successor at Bayern, during which several potential candidates opted to stay in their current positions. Before settling in company, Bayern considered various contenders for the managerial position, including Xabi Alonso from Leverkusen, former coach Julian Nagelsmann, and Austrian Ralf Rangnick. And to wrap up the 9 p.m. news, we'll take a recap of stories that made it to the headlines earlier. You had a critical review of achievements and challenges.
Nigerian Islam government's decision to reinstate old national anthem.
Anambra set to conduct local government election after 10 years.
Police kills 2 in Ekiti State.
Tinubu to present 2024 supplementary budget to National Assembly soon.
Bayern Munich named Vincent Company as their new manager.
And that is a wrap on the 9 p.m. news here on VOP TV. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayla Abraham.
And I am Somto Ajama.
Good evening.